I want to show you guys something. Up until here recently, I've always said it's really hard to pre-fill filters that are side mounted, that are top mounted, that are angle mounted, because you make a mess, right? Theoretically, yes, this is correct. You do make a mess, but you can actually pre-fill them. This is a filter that I just took off this town car here. This is an FL 820, and it's been sitting like this. And watch what happens. See all the oil coming out? See that? It's just pouring out of there. This filter is actually full of oil, just not in the center part of it. Look at that. It's full of oil. And it'll keep draining. But I take my pressure off of the anti-drain bag valve, wiggle it around a lot. There it is, it's draining again. Now I'm going to show you guys pre-filling the filter. I'm filling that last little bit from the center. I'm not supposed to, you shouldn't really do that, but. You too.
The workflow for L, he teach me.
You can see here, it's slowly draining back a little bit, but it's right at the top. And you're going to lose a little bit in the center whenever I do what I'm about to do. Now watch this. I got it in and I barely lost anything at all, just whatever residual was in the center. And of course, it's not going to be a total seal when the flap comes back, and I'll show you a little bit more here. We'll go up front and I'll show you on the one up front. Now, if you have the filter that's got the ribs like that one does right there, or the diaphragm, it'll leak a little, not bad. You got enough time to actually pre-fill it, dump the center out until most of it comes out, and then stick it in the vehicle. But if you have a seal like this one that's smooth and it doesn't have the ridges, it will actually seal better than this one here that does have the ridges. So can you pre-fill a side mounted, whatever, angle mounted, you know, if it's not just straight up and down? Yeah, you can. Can it make a mess? Yeah, it can. Is it necessary? No, it's not. So I wanted to just demonstrate to you that you can fill those other filters, because that diaphragm will stop the majority of the oil from coming out. But it's not necessary, to be honest with you. You can flood mode the vehicle and prime the system that way as well, and I can show you how to flood mode it right here in a second. Let's just pretend that I did not pre-fill that filter to put it on there, and we flood mode the vehicle to fill the filter. I'll show you how to do it. Okay, it's a flood mode, so you don't have to pre-fill the filter. Mainly American cars, some import as well. Take your foot and push down the gas pedal, hold it down, and then take the key and crank it over. And it will crank and crank and crank and crank. And then I let go of the gas when I was cranking. And that pre-fills the oil system, so you don't have to pre-fill the oil filter. Toyotas really don't do it. Some other imports don't do it. A lot of the diesels don't do it, but there's ways that you can manipulate the starting system, actually crank it over if you know how to do it. Like on the 6.7s over by the battery on the passenger side, there's a gray plug that you can unplug, the big giant gray plug, and you can actually jump the two terminals, the two heavy wires together, and it'll actually crank the truck over without starting it, and you can prime the system that way. Some Power Stroke guys like doing that because it stops that engine tick after they do the oil change, which you'll hear sometimes on the Power Strokes. Now we'll go to setup. Actually, I have to go hit reset to clear. Go to setup. Hey, can you close the hood in the trunk?
Yeah.
It's not gonna let me go into. Setup, reset, no, select, reset, hold it down while it's in oil life mode. And it went 100%. All systems okay. Done. Now, go back to my info. I got 255,301 on this. She runs like she's brand new. Y'all be blessed. Take care. Have a great day. You can pre-fill, but it's not necessary. Even filters that you don't think you can pre-fill. Even cartridge style filters, some people like to dip them and then drop them down inside the cartridge. I feel like that's just a waste. You can flood mode them as well. Most of them anyway. Always do your research on whether or not your car has flood mode. But thanks for watching. Appreciate y'all.